interesting moves. Obviously, some people critical of the Spencer Bayston to the 17 machine. Obviously, it seems like the World of Outlaws have been promoting the 17 machine, no matter who is going to drive it. You could see that coming with the interview they did with Connor Wade. Also, the post-race situation at Angel Park. You could kind of tell it's like they were really pumping that 17 car. Some people are critical of Spencer Bayston going into the 17 machine. I don't really know why. I mean, who's better? Who's available better right now? I mean, maybe somebody coming up, somebody new, a Dayson Pursley type. But how many Dayson Pursley types are there out there? There's a few different teams out there still looking for a driver potentially. Obviously, CJB sticking with Brenham Crouch, and you know, I think guys like Brenham Crouch and Bayston and all these guys, it's about getting a few years in, seeing how they work out. Do they work out? I feel like the fan base, when they see a guy coming up like Bayston or some of these other guys, and they get a few opportunities, that if they don't do anything with the opportunities, they kind of see it as they are paying to stay around. And who knows? Maybe these guys are paying to stay around. Maybe that is what's happening. I don't know. But Spencer Bayston, another guy, Tanner Thorson. I believed in Tanner Thorson when he jumped onto the National Sprint Car Tours. Y'all did not. I remember arguing with prominent figures in the sprint car racing industry who thought it was a joke. But you know, Tanner Thorson, Spencer Bayston, kind of victimhood people of the midget to NASCAR dream to fame. You know, Bell Larson came along, went from midgets into the cups, into the NASCAR ranks, and then it seemed like that was like the dream that was sold in the midget ranks, and you had guys with some talent like Thorson and Bayston come in and basically replicate what Bell and Larson had done in the midget series and not get the reward of going to NASCAR no matter what they did. It was more so like, at that time, at least to me, it seemed like the midget series, and maybe even still true today, let's see how much money these people have to spend in racing. And if we put the price here, then we can subjugate the people without the money. So, hey, NASCAR firms and management and agencies, here's some guys you can approach because we know they got money to spend in motorsports. They just put $300K into a Keith Kunz ride. So I don't know how to feel about Spencer Bayston because of that. I think he should be good. I think a lot of people thought he was going to do better in the 14 than he actually did. I think a lot of people see that situation with the 14 and Bayston and basically want to make that like on Spencer Bayston's tombstone. Could not perform well in the Jason Myers 14 car. We would like to say that not everyone can do well in the 14 car, but look at how good Justin Sanders, except Corey Day, that is. But look at how good Justin Sanders did. Funny enough, what was it, just a year ago, Justin Sanders and Corey Day, or a year and some months ago, Justin Sanders, Corey Day going at it with each other, featured in the High Limit Racing docu-series as, you know, basically rivals for in some capacity, very intense situation that happened at Kings. But Bayston did fairly well in the Paul Silva W and has done fairly, actually, I would think, better than what most thought in the 21 Tarleton ride. But look at how damn good Tanner Holmes is doing, which in my opinion, that's going to be the next guy to come off the board in one of these rides that potentially is going to be on the national tour next year that might be looking for a driver. I think Tanner Holmes is going national sprint car racing. That's what I think. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that shut off. I think Tanner Holmes is going to be going national sprint car racing. That's just a gut instinct of mine. That's what I believe. I don't know about y'all. But Dayson Pursley into the ride. Spencer Bayston into the outlaw hyped 17 car there with Stenhouse and everybody. And obviously the 5 car CJB sticking with Brenham Crouch. We'll see. I think after a few years, Brenham Crouch, you know, he's learned, has to continually grow. I think if he doesn't continually grow, then if he stays on the national scene for a period of time and duration, I feel like that's when you get the rent-a-ride phrase thrown around. when you've been on the national scene for a decent amount of time and you haven't really done nothing that's shockingly performing well, and you still stay in it. It's the fans, the people, they sit back and they say, well, what about this guy who's tearing it up? What about this guy who's doing really well? I think that's when renter rides and all that get thrown around and get mentioned widely. Hold on, we're taking a left turn here in the harvesting area. Hold on, can we get some lighting, please? Lighting? No, we can't. Of course not. Now I look like some kind of weird Joker. Look at that. Like, am I an X-Men character at this point? Look at that. Man, even the shadows drawing my hairline. Look at this. Let's add that. Look at that. Look at that hairline I got, boy. Oh, I look young again. No, I'm just playing. But we are out here. Let me show y'all real quick. Out here, we got a grain cart in front of us, some combines, the old deer on the side. It's a little dusty out here in the corn. The hood, when I see it, I think of those old Steve Kinzer, like dusty looking, you know, race worn die cast from back in the day. That is what that reminds me of, is the racing worn die cast, how that gray goes on there with the green. But that's what I think with my hair. I was like, hell with them. I'm going to take the hat off. I don't give a damn. I don't care at all. But anyway, I should. What color are my eyes? What's the sun say? I don't even know. Some people say blue, some people say green. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think. That's the situation at hand. That's what I feel with all these different drivers going around, going here, going there. What people are saying, what people think. The Pursley deal, as we predicted, he's going to be going in a KKR number 9. I would assume that you're going to have Brad Sweet in a 49 on special occasions, doing special events. So that's what I would predict. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the video. What do you think? What do you think about Crouch back to the CJB5? What do you think about Bayston in the 17? Kyle Pruitt, is Nate Rippetts going to stay there? If Rippetts, if he stays into that tire roll, that's going to be a very dangerous, strong team. Obviously, we're going to be seeing Pursley debut at the World Finals in this 9 car. Are they going to come out with a bang? Who's going to be in the Boot 13? See, that's the ride right there. I think I would say Tanner Holmes is going in. I think, call it like right now, because I saw him talk about Lincoln Speedway the other day, and Lincoln was like, we'd love to have you. We would love to have you, Tanner. That's who's going in the Boot 13 on the High Limit Series. Write it down. I said it first here on the show. I have no knowledge. I'm guessing 100%. Tanner Holmes to the Boot 13. Announcement before World Finals, maybe? Maybe? Announcement before World Finals. Full time into 2026 on the High Limit Tour. Tanner Holmes to the Boot 13. I said it first. Anyways, like the video, share it around, comment with what you think. Talk about my hairline. I don't know. When I comb it, this is hat hair. This is hat hair. We had our Impact shirt on and our Lil Pecker hat. I don't know. I mean, the hat looks all worker, man, but this one looks all like, hey, Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo, you know what I'm saying, boy?